Hello friends, this is Chetan from JD Networks, where statistics loose. Today let us discuss about a few questions which has been appeared in KSET 2020. The first question is, if the arithmetic mean of 10 numbers is equal to 12 and two numbers, that is 12 and 18 are removed and replaced by 20 and 30, then what is the mean of new data set of 10 numbers? So we have the formula that x bar is given by x bar equals to 1 upon n summation I running from 1 to n xi. So this is the formula. We have that here n equals to, there are 10 number of observations, and x bar that is equal to 12. Okay, and we can take this n from this to this side, so this n will be multiplied, so n into x bar that is equal to summation of xi. Okay, so this implies n is 10 and x bar is 12, it is 120, that is equal to x1 plus x2 so on up to x8. The 9th and 10th observation I am taking it as 12 and 18. Now these two observations has to be removed from this, so 120 minus this 12 plus 30, 18, it is 30, so 12 minus 120 minus 30, it is 90. So this 90, this is sum of 8 observations, x1 to x8. Now they are adding this 20 and 30. So for this 90 I am adding 20 and then I am again adding 30. So the total sum is 140, right? And how many observations are there? Again 10 number of observations. So 140 divided by 10, this is 40. Answer is C. Okay, this is the right answer. Let us move at the further next question, that is question number 62. This question deals about if every number in a quantitative data set D, so it has a quantitative data set D, and it is replaced by twice the numbers or twice the data, and he has obtained a new data set N. Now which of the following statements is not true? So there are 4 statements. Which of the following is not true as asked? Suppose in the data set D we think that it is of xi, that is x1, x2 so on up to xn, it is here, and in the new data set what he is doing is he is multiplying this x1 2 times and writing 2x1 and again 2x2, like that it is 2xn, right? So this is the new data set and this is the old data set. Fine. Now we have to verify whether which of the following statement is false. We have a formula that there is a concept called as change of location and scale. So according to that, if is there any change in the location, so that location will be added, and if there is any change in scale, that scale will be multiplied, and this is old x bar, so the new x bar will be expressed in terms of this. So this is the new data set and this is old data set. Now what he is telling is, first statement, consider the first statement, arithmetic mean of the numbers of n is twice as that of this one. Here a is 0 because he is not adding or subtracting anything, that's why a is 0 here. Now since he is multiplying 2 times, so the value of k is 2. Okay, now let us see that. So what do you mean by d bar? D bar equal to summation of di by n. Okay, this is equal to summation of this di has been obtained as these are multiplied 2 times xi divided by n. So these new set of the data, these have been obtained by multiplying 2 times this old set of data. Now this 2 is a constant, so I will take this constant outside, this d bar equal to, since 2 is a constant I will take it outside, then summation of xi by n, so that is nothing but x bar. Okay, Therefore, this first statement is true because the arithmetic mean of the numbers in n. So this is arithmetic mean of numbers in n, new set. So this is equal to 2 times the arithmetic mean of numbers in D, that is old data set. So this statement is true. Therefore, this is not the answer. Okay. Now let us look at variance. So for variance, we have a simple formula, or else a result. Variance of Ax, this is given by a square into variance of x. If this a is called as, this is a, it is a constant. Okay. If a is a constant, so when a is operating inside a variance, you want to take it outside, it will come out as a square of this. Okay. So for that, we have variance of di, this is equal to variance of, what is this di? It is 2 times xi, right? So this 2 is a constant, so it is coming out as square, 2 square into variance of xi. So what is 2 square? It is 4 times variance of xi. Now look at the second statement. Variance of the numbers in n is 4 times the variance of numbers in D. This is true because this di is a new data set. So this variance is equals to variance of this. It is 4 times variance of this old data set D, right? So this statement is true. Therefore, this is not the answer. Now let us look at this third statement, coefficient of variation. We will look at coefficient of variation. So what do you mean by coefficient of variation? Coefficient of variation CV. So this is given by sigma by x bar into 100. This is the formula. Okay. And what is the relation between this sigma and variance? Sigma is equals to square root of variance of any data set x. So square root of variance is nothing but standard deviation. Now let us take this CV of this n, that is new data set. So that is equal to variance of di, and I want standard deviation, so I am taking square root, and then what is this d bar. Okay. So this is equal to variance of di, it is just now we saw it, variance of di, it is 4 times variance of xi under the square root divided by, and this d bar, it is 2 times x bar. Okay. So this 2 and this 4 will cancel, and what will remain? Square root of variance of xi divided by x bar. So this is nothing but coefficient of variation of the data set D, old data set D. Okay. So coefficient of variation of the numbers in n is same as that of numbers in D. So this is also right statement, this is also right statement, and this is also right. So answer is D. This is a wrong statement. Okay. Let us move further. In next question, it's also very simple basic property question. Here the question is, he has given a PDF f of x. F of x is given by 2x, and the range of x is, x ranges from 0 to 1. Okay, this is the lower limit and this is the upper limit. Now which of the following is the PDF of maximum in a random sample of size 3? Okay, he has given n equal to 3. We have the formula that f of xn, this is given by n into capital F of x to the power n minus 1 into f of x. So this is the formula. We have n is 3, we have small f of x, it is given here, and this f of x, this is the distribution function. So this can be obtained as, it is 0 to x, integration of 0 to x, and integration of what? It is integration of this density function. So I write in terms of t. Okay, what is this? 0 to x, what is f of t? 2t dt. Since this 2 is a constant, it will come out of the integration, and integration of this t square, this is given by t square by 2, and divided by 2, and this 2 will go. So the limit of integration is 0 to x. Upper limit, if you substitute, it is x square. Lower limit, if you substitute, it is 0. So what is f of x? F of x is x square. Now use this result or formula in this thing. In this formula, you will get to know. Just a minute. I will substitute it here. So we have this f of xn is given by f of x3 we want because of sample size 3. This is equals to n is 3 into what is capital F of x? It is x square to the power. What is capital N? N is 3. So 3 minus 1 into what is small f of x? It is 2x. So simplify this. 3 into 2 it is 6. X square to the power 3 minus 1 it is 2 and again x here. 2 into 2 it is 4. 4 plus 1 here it is 5. So 6x to the power 5. This is f of x3. And again you should make sure that the range of this x is 0 to 1. Okay. And you can see that this option is given here. Option B. Option B is the right answer. This is the right answer. Okay. Let us move to next question. This question is based on bivariate normal distribution. What has been given? Here x and y are bivariate normal variates, or they have been distributed bivariate. Just a minute. Okay. X, y, this follows bivariate normal distribution with mean mu x and mu y, and variance covariance matrix is given by sigma x square and here sigma y square. That is, variance of x is sigma x square, variance of y is sigma y square, and they have said that this correlation coefficient is rho. So this is rho into sigma x sigma y and rho into sigma x sigma y. So this is the variance covariance matrix. Right. Now what they have asked is, which of the following statements are not true? Again, okay, let us we have a result that if x follows multivariate normal distribution, that is with the dimension p, the mean vector is given by mu and variance covariance matrix is given by sigma. Then if you want to make any transformation here, that is a into x, so this is again a normal distribution with the degree, what you can say this instead of p, here it is q dimension. What is q? It is q by p and it is p by 1. This q by 1. So this will come here. This q is the rank of this matrix A. Okay. So that is equals to A mu and A sigma A transpose. So this is a famous result. Okay. I will use this result and solve the problem, and then we will look at which of the statement is not true. Means out of these 4 statements, 3 statements are true. Okay. Let us look at this third statement. I will just take this example. Third statement. So what this third statement is all about? They have given 2x minus y. So how to express this in terms of matrix? This can be expressed as, take coefficient of x, that is 2, take coefficient of y, that is minus 1. This is a row matrix, and again I am going to take a column matrix. What is column matrix? Just take it x comma y. So now this is in the form of a vector x. Right. Now what we want? We want the mean of this. So this follows normal with mean a mu. Right. Vector mu. What is a? It is 2 minus 1. What is the mean of this? Mu x mu y. So I am going to multiply these two, that is 2 into mu x minus mu y. In that statement, what has been given? 2x minus y is a normal random variable with mean 2 mu x minus mu y. So this is right up to this. Now we have to verify whether variance is same or not. I will verify that. So for variance we have A sigma A transpose. What is A? A equals a row matrix, it is 2 minus 1. Right. So I will take this. What is A? 2 minus 1. I am taking this here. And sigma, it is sigma x, sigma y, sigma square x, sigma square y here. And here rho sigma x, sigma y. And again rho sigma x, sigma y here. Okay, this is variance covariance matrix. And again I am taking this 2 minus 1 because I have to take the transpose. Now this is of the order 1 cross 2, here it is 2 cross 2, I will leave this later. So this is 1 cross 2 resultant matrix. So 2 into sigma square s, 2 sigma square x minus, this minus will be multiplied here, minus rho sigma x sigma y. So this is the first element, and then second element is again you have to multiply this 2 here, 2 into rho sigma x sigma y, and then minus what is this, sigma square y. Okay, so this is multiplication of this first matrix and second matrix, and this 2 minus 1 I am just keeping it as it is. Now the order of matrix is, it is 1 row and 2 column, here it is 2 row and 1 column. The resultant matrix is a scalar. Okay, after multiplying this 2 into 2, this first term, this 2 has to be multiplied here, that is 4 sigma square x minus 2 times rho sigma x sigma y. Now this negative sign has to be multiplied to this second term. So this just a minute. Okay, this negative sign has to be multiplied here. It is minus 2 times rho sigma x sigma y, and then minus 2 times this, that is minus sigma square y. This minus is there, here also minus, minus of minus, it is plus. Now you can see that he has given it is plus 4, but after simplifying this you will get it as minus 4. So this statement is not true. Okay, so this is the right answer. We shall move further. We will discuss next question. Next question is about, it's a very simple and straightforward question. It's about probability. If A and B are any two arbitrary events, which of the following statement is not true? You have to make a note that which of the following statement is not true. Again, he or she is asking about not true. We have a formula, very basic formula. Probability of A union B, this is given by probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Okay, but you can see that this probability of A union B has been given as probability of A plus probability of B. This intersection goes only when if A and B are independent, then what you have, probability of A intersection B is 0. If A and B are independent, if these are independent, then probability of A intersection B is 0. Then you can say that if this is 0, this is equal to this. If A and B are not independent, then this A union B is not equal to this. This is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So you have to subtract this intersection here, right? So this is not true statement. It's a very direct or a straightforward question. We'll move to next question. It's also a very basic property based question of this thing, probability distribution. We have a simple formula. If f is a distribution function, if f is a distribution function, it has to satisfy many of the properties. One of the most important and preliminary properties, f of minus infinity, this should be equal to 0, and f of plus infinity, this should be equal to 1. This is the basic formula, right? If f is a distribution function, this should satisfy these two conditions. And one more is there, that is f is non-decreasing. Non-decreasing means it should be constant or it should be increasing. It should not decrease. So these are the three properties. Based on these first two properties, I will eliminate the options, and again you have to see that which of the following is not true. Okay, let us take this second option. You put f of minus infinity, that is 0. So here it is 0, and g of minus infinity, that is 0, and again 0. So 0 plus 0 plus 0, it is 0. So f of minus infinity is 0, so that is satisfied. And put 1, that is f of plus infinity. So f of plus infinity is 1. 1 into root 2, it is root 2, plus 3 into root g, it is 3 into root 1, that is 3, root 3, plus root 5. Okay, divided by, we have to observe that the same has been given there, root 2 plus root 3 plus root 5. So this will go away. So the answer is 1. So this property has been satisfied by this option, and the same will be satisfied by this option also. You take this here, you apply f of plus infinity equal to 1. Okay, you can see that it is 1 plus 2 into f of plus infinity is 1 and g of plus infinity is 1 plus 3 times f of plus infinity is 1 into 1 into 1 it is 1, so 1 into 3 it is 3 divided by, you have to see that it is 5. 2 plus 3 5 plus 1, so this is 6 by 5. This 6 by 5, this is not equal to 1, and hence this, and he has given that it is a distribution function. If it is a distribution function, it should satisfy this property, but it is not satisfying. So this is the right answer, because this is a wrong statement. Alright, we will move to next question. So this is based on the direct property based question. Here we'll look at what is the property of this. It is regarding exponential distribution. If x and y are independent random variables which are exponentially distributed, x and y are independent exponential random variables. Okay, which of the following statement again he is asking about not true. Okay, suppose let us say that x follows exponential lambda 1 and y follows exponential lambda 2. Okay, we have the property that if x and y are independent and they are exponentially distributed, sum of this follows gamma, and the parameter is, since two exponential random variables are adding, so this is scale parameter, and this shape parameter is they are lambda 1 plus lambda 2. Okay, so this statement is right, and minimum of x comma y is exponentially distributed, this is right. So if x and y are exponential, then minimum of x comma y, this is again, this follows exponential. The parameter is given by lambda 1 plus lambda 2. So minimum of x comma y is again exponential, and the parameter is lambda 1 plus lambda 2. So this is also right statement. Now we see this. We know that exponential has a memoryless property or loss of memory property, right? And this minimum is also following exponential, so this also has memoryless property. So this is also right statement, but this is a wrong statement. Maximum of x comma y is exponentially distributed, it is not exponentially distributed. Okay, this is the wrong statement, so this is the right answer. We'll move to next question. Probably this is the last question of today's video. It has been asked about this characteristic function. It's also very basic property. Means here also you can see that which of the following is not true. Okay, we have a basic and very preliminary property of characteristic function, that is pi of 0 is 1. If pi is a characteristic function, then pi of 0 is 1. This is very basic property. Okay, by this property only you can eliminate this option, because you can say that this pi of 0, this is equal to 1, and eta of 0, you take the sum of these two, this is 1 plus this is 1, this is equal to 2, which is not equal to 1. But to satisfy this as a characteristic function, the result should be that eta of 0 plus eta of pi of 0, this should be equal to 1, but we are getting it as 2. Okay, since we are getting it as 2, this property has not been satisfied by a characteristic function, so this is a wrong statement, so this is the right answer. So I thank you for watching this video. Please go through my other videos also for further study. If you, I will upload a few videos regarding this KCET 2021 in upcoming days or else shortly. So thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.